Good evening. This is the meeting of the Murray City Municipal Council for Tuesday, January 24th, 2017. And I would just like to welcome everybody. Also to let you know that the council meeting may be viewed live on the internet at http://murraycitylive.com. So welcome to those of you who are viewing us online. Let's see, what else? Well, I guess we'll just start with the opening ceremonies and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I've asked Paula Camp to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance. Thanks, Paula.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Paula. You're going to come every time now, right? We're so glad you're here. All right, next is approval of minutes, and we have council meeting minutes for January 10th, 2017.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All right, any changes or additions? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimously passed. All right, now is the part of special recognition, and often we have scouts here. I don't see any scouts here, so we don't have to do that. But we do have Murray City Council Employee of the Month, Mark Mayer. And let's see. Council member Brett Hales usually does this, so anyway, tonight is my lucky evening. And Officer Mayer, it's with deep appreciation for exceptional dedication, expertise, and service to our community from the Murray City Municipal Council. We've been doing this for about 6 years, I think, and it's our opportunity to thank, I guess, special employees, and tonight's your night. So anyway, we'll have Chief Burnett, and if you'd like to come up. Oh, also,
I'll let you give him your.
yeah, you get this designation and a gift card.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to get it from you tonight, especially. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you. All right.
Take just a moment and see if I can embarrass Mark. Probably not too hard. Mark, was it March of '83? Sometime back in 1983 when you started here? 82. I mean, that's meaning 82. March of 1982. So he's been here just a little bit longer than I have by a couple of years. But Mark is one of those guys who has come to work every day, done the job that he's supposed to do, doesn't ask for a lot of attention, but he's a consummate professional, very thorough in what he does. He's served the city of Murray and the citizens in a myriad of ways. He's been in patrol numerous times, been a detective. He's worked high-profile cases, some that have even been featured on national television shows, things that he would just say, I was just doing what I needed to do, but he's worked some big cases, homicide cases. He's worked in the DEA with narcotics, and currently serving, has for the last, about what, 6-7 years? As a warrants detective, serving warrants for a court and for the police department. And, there's just not, I don't know what really I can't say or could say about Mark, because he's, when I was a brand new detective, I worked a lot with him. He helped me, taught me a lot, and he's been that way with he still is that way. He still goes out and does his job, very professional. He's a great example to new officers, and when you think of what somebody who brings a good light on law enforcement, it's Mark. Through his example, both of his sons are in law enforcement. You all know Phil, who works for us, and Matt, who works in Maryland. So, apparently he set a good example for them. But we're more than happy to put him forward as our officer for the Employee of the Month this month. So, congratulations, Mark.
Well, thank you very much. Sure. Yeah. With me tonight, I just want to introduce my family. This is my wife, beautiful wife, Nancy. And she is just recovering from surgery. She had her ankle fused. I know Jim's dealing with issues with his foot too. But she just got off crutches just the other day, so she's kind of hobbling around a little bit, but she's doing good, and I'm just so proud to have her as a wife. She's been a supporter of me for 35 years, so that's my wife and my son. My oldest son, Phil, everybody knows him because he's with the police department, but he's one of my biggest supporters too, and I appreciate him coming tonight. He's actually working a wire up at the DEA tonight, and he took out an hour to come up here for this, so I appreciate that very much.
35 and counting. Can you believe it?
35 and counting. It's funny, I have to say, and I told Diane this the other day in the award ceremony, that the year I got hired in '82, I went to the old police department on State Street at the big and tall building, and that's where I was hired. My first day of work, I came in a suit. I didn't have a uniform or anything. I came in a suit and a tie, and I'd shaved my mustache, because I heard the chief back then didn't like new hires with mustaches and all this, and I was all cleaned up. And I got there and they said, what are you doing here? And I said, well, this is my first day of work. I'm all excited, show me what to do, And they said, well, take that suit off and get in that pickup truck and go help these guys move all these cabinets and file cabinets and desks over to the new building we're moving today. And I said, what? That's not what I signed up for. But 35 years later, here I am. So the council's been good to the city employees the whole time I've been here. I've been through 5 mayors. I is the 5th mayor, and 4 chiefs of police, all of which have been super supportive to me personally, and I just want to thank everybody for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, let's see. The Mayer family doesn't have to stay unless you want to. It's kind of up to you. I mean, this is pretty exciting stuff, so you, you get to choose. But thank you so much for being here. Okay, now we're at the time for citizens' comments, and comments are limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise approved. And this is not the public hearing. We are having a public hearing, but this is just to address the council with whatever issue you might have. So, do we have any citizens that would like to address the council? Yes. Would you? Yes. Go to the podium and state your name and address, please.
I'm Steve Peterson. I'm with the Salt Lake County Fish and Game, address 1177 West Bullion Street. I came here tonight because I understand our next door property is being developed. They're going to put 83 new homes in there. But we were never notified of the zoning change or anything like that. And wonder why we weren't notified. I don't know. The only notification I've had is from the developer. I talked with one of the neighbors, and that's the only notification they got on the situation. Be interested to see if they're going to follow up on proper storm drainage, setback from the river, like 150 feet from the bordering the river and stuff like that.
Okay, I think we haven't quite got to that part of the process. So when we do, you will be notified and you will be able to comment on that as well.
Yeah, I understood everybody was supposed to be notified ahead of a zoning change,
You will
especially
be.
adjacent people,
Yes, you will be.
but,
Promise.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Yes?
Same. Dan Potts with the Salt Lake County Fish and Game Association. I'm on the board of directors. So I guess Ivory Homes purchased that property with the understanding that it had been rezoned, and in our research we found that it had been rezoned, and yet we haven't been notified. However, on another note, you know, that property that we have since, I think, 1972 has been dedicated for wildlife. And, of course, Murray City has its own nature center. And so we figure that Murray is sensitive to nature issues. We are surprised, however, that Murray City is one of the few cities up and down the Jordan River that are not members of the Jordan River Commission, which is, you know, basically its mandate is relative to the Blueprint Jordan River, which was an effort by the state to try to get, you know, good practices up and down the Jordan River. We're concerned because our property abuts this development that is incredibly insensitive to wildlife, and will take, you know, 22 acres out of nature, the existence of nature. That's on that south swath of I-215 where the two radio towers go up, the two antennas go up. And so we know that Murray owns a small corner up against 215, and so we would like to at least communicate with our representative, our city council representative, and be able to set up a meeting or something with them so that all of the issues can come out, and we can discuss those things.
Okay.
Who is our
Me. Yeah, that's me.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a phone number we could call you
Yeah,
at?
sure.
That'd be great.
801-913-3283.
Great.
We'll
Thank
go
you.
out and get a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
We'll do a fish fry or something. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. Thank you, Mr. Potts. Okay. All right. We'll close citizen comments. We have no consent of agenda. And now we're at the public hearing. And that is to consider an ordinance amending city's fiscal year 2016-2017 budget. Justin Zollinger presenting.
Appreciate coming before council tonight with these few items. They should all sound very familiar. A few of them we've had multiple discussions on them. So the first one on the list is we're going to receive $250,000 from Salt Lake County for money that's to be used for infrastructure improvements over off of Commerce, I believe is where it's at. So that money is, we're going to be billing them for it, but we need to add it to the budget. And that will be in the capital projects fund is where we'll be receiving that money for. Marianne Kirk applied, and we received a grant from George and Dolores Eccles Foundation. That was really a unique situation. So she sent the application in, and next thing you know, we received a letter back with the award. I mean, usually it's like, okay, yes, we want to do this. Let's get some more paperwork, and they support us right away. And Marianne received that $100,000 for us, and that will be to help pay for the Murray City Amphitheater improvements that we were doing, and that's also in the Capital Projects Fund. So our 2016 sales tax bond payment that will be paid by the RDA of $123,878 That is principal and interest, and that'll be paid from RDA fund revenue. The 2016 stormwater bonds we issued, we have a bond payment of $120,450, principal and interest. They'll be paid for with stormwater fund revenue. Council payroll expense, increase of $6,800 for increases in health insurance costs. This will be paid for with, we have a positive sales tax surplus right now on over budget, actual over budget, and that'll be paid for, will be funded with that, and that'll be paid for out of the general fund. And last, we received our distribution of beer tax money, $71,321. It's an annual distribution for alcohol enforcement, whether it be cameras or shifts. It can be used. And we receive this annually, and this will be also paid for out of the general fund. Any questions? Okay.
Okay. Now we'll open it for public comment. Okay. Seeing none, then we'll close the public comment. Are there any questions from the council?
I would make a motion we adopt the ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2016-2017 budget as stated.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, that concludes that part. Now we have no new business or unfinished business, so now we go to the mayor. Do you have a report for us?
Thank you. I'll try and be brief tonight. I've had an absence due to some medical concerns over the last couple of weeks, but I've been able to keep up with some important meetings through telecommunications and feel that I am fairly well abreast of what's going on some of our major developments with downtown and also on some of my responsibilities on the League of Cities and Towns and also the Wasatch Regional Front and some of the other committees that I serve on that I've been able to telecommunication in. The most important one was today, not the most important one, but the one I had today, which was very important, was with Corey Holdaway. As you know, today is only the second day of the legislature, and so it's kind of new and everything, but we went over some of the major bills that would be important for us to monitor. Some of the bills that I'd like to bring up to you that we are looking at right now and that Corey and I are coordinating and talking with on a daily basis is the progression of the medical marijuana, also the homeless shelter situation, court reforms, police and fire and public safety issues, any code changes that have come up like we had last year, if you remember, they were trying to affect some code changes that, also the taxation bill with regards to the internet sales tax, we're watching that, and also HB 115, which has to do with our landfills. So those are some of the bills that we are looking at right now. This is kind of a unique session for us because there doesn't seem to be that one overriding bill that is normally so huge. And the legislature, for instance, last year was transportation. The year before it was education. The year before it was something else. There doesn't seem to be this one major bill that's going to affect us as a city. But there are a lot of smaller bills. Being the fact that we have kind of taken over the responsibility for the pay of Dave Stewart, from the mayor's office, I would encourage you that if you have anything that you would like me to bring up to Dave on a regular basis when we talk on the telephone and also meet up on the Hill that you're interested in, that you would like me to convey to him, to either Dave Stewart or to Corey Holdaway or to our intern who is Reese Davidson. One of the advantages that we have to having Reese Davidson on, there are a couple of meetings that they do not allow, and they discourage registered lobbyists to attend the meetings. They don't want them in the meetings. Well, Reese is not a registered lobbyist, and so Reese can go into those meetings and listen to those meetings and then report back to us on that. So that's a real advantage for us. So just wanted to point out to you, if you have anything that you hear of, read about in the newspaper or anything else that comes up that has to do with the legislation that you want us to help with or to give you background information on, please feel free to contact me, and on my daily briefings with these three individuals, I'll be able to get back to you on that. Okay?
I got a few bills.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, right now, what we do.
I don't know how pertinent they are to Murray.
But, so if you have any other questions for me, I'd be glad to answer any other questions.
Great. Are there any other questions for the mayor?
Just good to see you back here, Mayor.
Great-
Boy, I'll
great to be
say,
here.
we've missed you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. If there are no other questions, then we will be adjourned.
So what do you think on that? Have we missed the vote on that?